Hey everyone, how is it going? This is Scrembo from Emotionless Crypto Trading, and I'll do some market analysis for Ethereum compared to Tether USD 4-hour candlesticks on Poloniex Exchanger. Sorry about my voice, guys. There's something weird going on today, and I don't know what happened with it. It's kind of more deep. Hopefully you're gonna understand me while I'm doing this video presentation. So hopefully the audio is going to be great, guys. Let's get started on this market analysis as usually. I'm gonna do a quick refresh on the coin market cap 130. Let's just have this loading up. $136.2 billion total market cap for the entire space. $283 for the Ethereum, and we're gonna look for the biggest markets currently. Korean market is pushing it very high as usually. It's dominating. Then we've got two USDs and then Korea once again for 2 times, which represents a domination by the Korean market in the volume of Ethereum, and it's kind of normal as it seems like for the last months. Now let's get back to our current situation, because we had a drastical decrease in price from nearly it was around 395, decreased down the way so far till 200s, and now we obviously were expecting a comeback basically after that huge decrease. So we were kind of blocked around 300 so far. Let me kind of explain you what the market analysis says and what we could expect basically forward, as by the language of the market and not by one of my predictions, right? So as usually, you know that I'm not sharing predictions here on YouTube. I'm just sharing the market analysis. Now the things that I want you to look at is these rectangles basically, which are represented by a number. We're talking about this one right here with number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now the way I see it is, and the patterns basically are representing that rectangle number 1 kind of pairs up with rectangle number 2, then rectangle number 3 pairs up with rectangle number 4. So what happened after number 3 is exactly this one right here. Exactly that movement basically, which we can also expect after rectangle number 4. Something like that, which is still inside the downtrending channel, which has been created here and respected over here. Let me share with you. Let me zoom in a little bit and I'll try to share with you. So look at that long shadow basically on top of the green body you see over here, right? You see the green body, then the long shadow on top of it. Now that represents rejection within the price. People for some reason sold at that time, which represents the confirmation so far of the resistance line of the downtrending channel, right? So that's what it is, as well as a confirmation of the $300, which represents this blue line right over here, represents the $300 price tag, which is kind of a psychological barrier which people used to have at hundreds for this type of coins, which are based around hundreds value, right? So that 200, 300, 500, 600, we're always going to have psychological barriers. Now we're hitting kind of a powerful resistance at that time. That's why we came down pretty quickly from close to 300 down to 289.9, 290. Basically that's where we're kind of moving around currently for the Ethereum market. So you see how so far the pattern and the candlesticks basically are kind of confirming within the market as it seems like. So what we're expecting forward is the continuation of the should I say structure of what happened after rectangle number 3, which is very similar to rectangle number 4 from this side, right? So what happens is we have such a pattern with different volumes. That's the only thing. Now obviously if you're trying to pair up both rectangles or the other ones, number 1 with number 2 exactly, they're not going to show up exactly. But what happens is the main structure and the idea psychologically is the same. That's why I am considering them to share with you guys the way it looks like. So considering this long shadow right here nearly around 300, as well as confirming on the downtrending channel resistance line, which is this one right here coming down the way it confirmed, which represents a continuous decrease, exactly the structure which happened after rectangle number 3 right over here. That's what the market analysis tells us right now. On the other side, we still have chances. Basically every single time, there's nothing 100% that the market analysis tells you. It tells you some percentage for a situation, but it also tells you a different percentage for the opposite situation, which is in the opposite direction. That could represent a breakout right now and a different structure within the market of Ethereum. A breakout right now would mean to get out of the $300 zone and then transform it into our next support, because so far it is our resistance. So we have to break out of it and transform it into our next support, which means to confirm on it. And then Ethereum would represent a good entry at that time. But as of right now, entering on Ethereum, it's very risky considering the way the market looks like, but also keeping in mind that many of the exchanges basically around China, especially trading on Chinese fiat money, will ban their activity, right? So we'll shut down their activity anywhere between end of September and end of October, guys. So there will be a lot of these things going on, which do not represent a good signal for the market. And I'm sure there will be a lot of panic sell-off by the Chinese regular traders and people, the ones that know how to react when such a things happen. Now, obviously, I keep a lot of funds in USDT and I'm waiting for the best position. As a trading advice I could share with you along the way with the current situation would be patient enough to find a great entry and ride it, which would represent a swing trade for me. I'm looking for a swing trade in a USDT basically exchange with the Ethereum. I'm looking for a very good swing trade, therefore I'm waiting and I'm patient for a great price. Currently I don't see $300 as a great price, and because of the market analysis, which kind of shows a few patterns over here, I would be more patient and allow myself to see if it confirms once again what happened after rectangle number 3. If it happens the same structure, then obviously I'll have a better price entry as of right now. So that's something to consider all around it, guys. And this is the way it looks like. Now, obviously, there are dozens of chances that could happen, a lot more patterns that I'm seeing right over here. Within a single video presentation, I can only present one, and that's fair enough, but I see this one as the most helpful for my audience out there. And hopefully, guys, my voice is not strange. I mean, it's not weird enough in order to make you close this video presentation or so forth. Hopefully it's good enough for you to be able to listen as usually, right? So thank you so much for watching this video presentation, guys. Appreciate that. Feel free to drop your comments around the comment box right here on YouTube, and let me see what you guys are thinking about this price point, which is currently 300. Oh, I'm checking, we're 287 right now and we're decreasing more and more. Let me just clear this thing up and show you basically the long shadow that we're having over there. So you can clearly see this shadow, which represents rejection. As usually I'm telling you, rejection is obviously a case when the price went up and then the selling pressure acted at specific price point, it has been triggered, and then pushed the price down, which means a long shadow on top of a body, right? So that's what happens right now. 286 for Ethereum, and the market analysis basically represents a kind of a bearish market with a bull trap situation over here. Okay, so that's kind of all about, guys. Feel free to check the first link in the description area, which represents the full coaching program where you can learn how to create a successful cryptocurrency trading business from A to Z with me one-on-one on Skype. So that's kind of all about, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, share this video presentation, and I'll see you next time.